Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Tuesday, April 8th. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, I thought today would be a good day to talk about how do we get more customers. I know it's a battle for all of us. You know, a lot of times it's feast or famine, right? Where we either have too many customers or not enough. How can we change that? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it, and this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Tuesday, April 8th. So, where am I going with today's video on how to get more customers, where to get more customers? And I think the biggest misconception that we have is when we use the word I instead of plural we. A lot of times when it comes to our shop getting more customers, it has very little to do with I and more to do with we of A, this is your best way to get it, past customers. I mean, if you're just starting out, you don't have the customer base, right? But if you've been going at it for a while, hopefully you understand that you need to be on top of your game, giving out 110% on each customer's machine. And doing it in such a way that it's affordable, you're looking out after them, and they have an overall good experience. If they don't have an overall good experience, guess what? They are going to tell everybody that's willing to listen how you suck. But on the other hand, if they're very pleased with your work, they will be the first ones to recommend it to other people that are asking about it. And I've seen this happen in posts that I've done, in different groups in my area where I'll have other customers that I've had and I still have that will add to my post by saying, that we are a good outfit to deal with. That they kind of give us that seal of approval, telling their friends it's okay, take a chance, because you'll be pleasantly surprised. So that's going to be your first place, right? It's not what I do, it's what we do. And the quicker you can come to the realization that I is only when you screw up, but most times it's we, because somebody has played a part in your life, whether it be a big part or a small part, all right? And you could be a one-man band working on somebody's piece of equipment, but you can't still be in the I column. Not unless you're self-taught, nobody helped you along the way, and you are where you are because of that. I can't say that. I've had so much help from a lot of people, over my lifetime, that there's very few things that I can say I about. Unless it's something that I screwed up, and then I take full accountability for it, because guess what? If I don't take accountability for it and I don't own it, how can I change it? Because I don't want it to continue down that road of having bad experiences. So if I own it and say, this is my problem, that's when the change can happen. Because once you own it, you have the ability to change it versus saying it's not me, it's not my problem, and having it continue to spiral downhill. But no, even if you're a one-man band, you got to give some credit to somebody along the way that shows you a technique, or you watched a video on how to do something. The I, as much as we like to use it, doesn't carry as much weight. Whereas we, and I have a lot of we in my life, that have helped us get to the point of where we're at. We picked up 2 new customers yesterday. And as much as I would like to take the credit for getting 2 more jobs into the shop, both of them heard us through word of mouth. Somebody, whether it be a friend or a past customer or both, told somebody else that we were good to deal with. So your first avenue is going to be your past customers. And if you haven't learned this yet, and you're still playing that one-off customer where you don't care if they're happy at the end of the job, is give me your money, it is what it is, you're going to be slow. It'll get around. Don't worry. Bad news travels fast. Good news, a little slower. Right? But what other ways can we do things to get word out? I just said it. You know how to use a computer, and your good chances are you have a Facebook account where you talk with friends and family, right? Look for groups in your area, whether it be the online garage sales or the community groups, or there's tons of them. I guarantee it, in your area there are tons of them. There's a bunch of people that have started different groups to sell crap, everything. And if you haven't looked at my past videos, the one thing I'm going to tell you right now is don't spam the groups. I'm not telling you to do so. That will be an automatic turn off, and people will not come to you when they need you. So what I do is you have the administrators for each group, right? Before I post in any of the groups, I'll send a message to the administrator with what I'd like to post and ask if it's okay. And a lot of times they'll post it for me and tell me, yeah, that was fine. You don't need to every day or a couple times a day put your ad out on the community groups. Post it for the month once. That's all you need to. And every time you get ready to post, ask again. And then be sure to thank them for allowing you to post in their groups. That goes a long ways. And a lot of times they'll start recommending you because you are thankful for any and all help you get. See, people are more willing to help you as long as you appreciate the help. But if you're just a bulldozer and head for groups and start posting once a week or once a day, and then people will start blocking you, and for good reason. So you got past customers, and then you got groups. There's 2 places. I don't recommend Facebook advertising. I know I'm probably going to get banned from Facebook now. But in the past, maybe it's just how I was going about it, but I was spending quite a bit of money and not seeing much for results. Same here with YouTube. I don't think it's great. I'm not sure of how to utilize it to where it would help me out in my local area. Most of you guys are off and gone, from every state in the United States, and that's great. So I'm not quite sure how YouTube would get me more customers in my area. They have certain things, tools that you can use. But again, it's a money pit unless you know what you're doing. As far as running ads in print and stuff like that, if you are floor planning and you can get it co-opt, and what do I mean by co-opt? I mean, if you have the major brands and you're selling their brands, a lot of times they'll co-op up to 70-80% of the cost. That means they will pay 70 to 80% of the advertising costs for print, radio, and TV. If that's the case, you're kind of crazy not to. Honestly. If they're paying 70, 80%, why not? Well, you're saying that 10, 20% is expensive. Yeah, but you're hitting areas that these manufacturers have learned in the past that pays off. But what I can tell you is you have to put a lot of ads up to make a difference. And they know it too. But the other thing that's going to help you is by selling brands, whether it be Steel, Husqvarna, Simplicity, John Deere. Just the name will get you customers. It's a name they trust. It's a name they've used for years. You know, it's like me with Steel and Husqvarna chainsaws. I've had a good run with both Steels more than Husqvarnas. My brother-in-law is still using his John Shred that he's had for the past 30 years and is still going strong. Compared to these that are coming out today, right? But a lot of people go back and buy from a dealer not because they know the dealer and like the dealer, it's because that dealer is carrying the brand that they've fallen in love with, that they have a connection with. So there's another way that you're going to connect and get work, whether it be sales or having something worked on, right? What are other ways that you can come up with that you know of that's worked for you? One of the things that I'm thinking about trying is there's a friend of mine that her husband started a bottle redemption and a liquor store, basically all in one. And they put out a postcard and sent it to every box holder in the 2 townships that are close. I'm not sure exactly what the costs were, but it was something that I kept because I didn't know that they existed, and I probably still wouldn't know today if it hadn't been for that postcard. And we get a lot of people from the local area that say, geez, we never even knew you were here, Eric. That's on me. That tells me that I'm not doing enough in the local area to get known for what we do. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Each of you are going to have a little different style, right? Some are going to be more blunt, some are going to be more reserved. It's attracting the right customer. It's the customer that appreciates good work and is looking for long-term commitments. All right, so we have Facebook, and we also have past customers as being our biggest selling points. And then we have postcards. I'm going to eliminate print, radio, and TV unless you are carrying the major brands because it wouldn't be productive. Facebook, unless you hire somebody to do it, still iffy. The other way you can do it is the cheapest way. Another cheap way for the local area is to get a laser printer and use some program to create a flyer, a brochure, and then order some business cards. Don't get the free ones with the Vista print on the back. Get a decent business card and staple it to the brochure or to the flyer. And take it around and go house to house to house. And hand deliver it. If you have time, because you don't have customers, that's time you can be going around your neighborhood, right? The other place that would come in handy is like Tractor Supply is one. Your local grocery stores, they all have posting boards. And people do look at them. And as long as you're not over posting on them, you know, simply taking a sheet of paper and telling what you do, and then having like the little tabs that are already pre-cut. All you gotta do is tear off one. It has a phone number on it. so they can get a hold of you. That works well too, depending on what you're doing. If it's small engine repair and you work on agricultural stuff too, Tractor Supply is good because they get that mixture of homeowner and farmer and rancher. And maybe that guy doesn't know how to weld or doesn't care to weld or doesn't weld that well. So if he can have somebody else do a quick weld for him that he knows is going to last the test of time, guess what? But for us, it still comes back to word of mouth. You need to treat each customer fairly, and you need to do the best work you can do. And you're putting your name on that, your stamp of approval, when that machine leaves the shop. And it's our goal to make sure the customer is happy. Are there going to be customers that, no matter what you do, are not happy? Yes, absolutely. But we have control over a lot of how our customer leaves. And a lot of it isn't based on dollars and cents. It's just knowing that the machine is going to perform well. And they understand there's going to be issues from time to time where something will pop up. And I can give you an example of that. We run one through the shop, and customer pays for a service and a once over, and Claude says the belts look good on it, or I say the belts look good on it, and within a couple weeks out, they blow a belt. Let's say a deck belt. You got two options. You got three options actually, but two main ones. You can say it's not my problem that shit happens, and it does. And that it's up to the customer to get it back to you so that you can install the belt, and then you charge the customer for another belt plus time to do it. Plus another pickup and drop off if that's required. I can tell you right now that customer is not going to be happy. They may smile at you, but they will not be back. What's the better way to do it? If you get into one of those instances, own it. Own it. You looked at the belt, you thought the belt would hold up, you were trying to save the customer money, but for whatever reason, and now you're looking at ordering a belt for it, picking it up, putting the new belt on it, and then delivering it back to the customer. And what do I do in those instances? I tell the customer, this one's on me. We thought it would hold up, but that's my call, so that's why I'm covering it. Have I had customers that wanted to at least cover the cost of the belt, and I allowed it? Yes. But that's it. Not labor, not pick up and drop off. We need to own when things leave our shop. Are we 100%, foolproof that we're going to spot everything? Absolutely not. But when that machine leaves, we're telling the customer that they're going to have a carefree summer. And if they've done nothing to cause the issue, then I own it. And you're going to instill in your customers a better free flow when it comes to problem solving when you do that, when you own it. See, I'm a firm believer, if you don't own something that's going wrong, how can you change it? If you're blaming somebody else all the time, you can't change it because it's out of your control, right? It's them. Whereas if you own it, now you can make changes to it. What part did I play in it, and what part do I want to change that my part is playing? And that is understanding that I can't be 100% on all the machines that leave here. But what I can do is if something does go wrong with that one or two machines, that I own it, I take care of it, and I take care of my customer. Is it going to cost me a few dollars out of my pocket? Yes. But it's going to pay forward a hell of a lot more than what you ever realize. So if you're that type of mechanic or shop that says screw you if they blew a belt, and you charge them for pickup and drop off again, you charge them for the time that was invested in putting that new belt on, and then the cost of the belt marked up, you're not taking care of your customer. You're not. And we can at least admit that, right? Alright, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. Past customers and your friends, let it be known that you're looking for work. Facebook, check the groups out. Check with the administrators to see if it's okay to post. And we've gotten a lot of work that way. Postcards is another way. Co-oping. If you're doing floor planning, check into co-oping. Of course, the more you floor plan, the more they get you. Some entry level is 30-40% is what they're willing to cover. Do your research. Do your due diligence on the return on your investment to make sure it's worth your while. It wasn't for us. We didn't have a brand co-oping anyways. We were paying out of pocket. Didn't go anywhere. And just treating your customers fairly and owning things will get you a long ways in this game we call life. So on that note, put in the comments what you think and how you approach things and how you do things. Pretty curious on that. All right, so you guys have a great Tuesday.